Let me spill the tea about how I fumbled my first gifter on BIGO Live. When I first started streaming, I had this supporter, let's call him Bobby, who was super consistent. He'd send me gifts, he'd chill in my lives, and basically he was like my first real supporter, and I thought he was a vibe. So fast forward to my second auction ever, and if you don't know what an auction is, it's basically when your gifters or supporters have a chance to buy you. Your highest bidder wins whatever it is that you're auctioning off. Typically it's like a name change, or they can choose like a photo to put up, or whatever the case may be. And honestly, it's like such a mix of like fun and pressure. And Bobby had promised me that he'd show up and bid on me, but when the time came, he completely ghosted. Everyone else had support, and I'm just sitting there looking goofy on such low numbers, right? And sure, I'm new and other people may have been on the app for longer, but it doesn't feel good to be sitting there on like a super low number. As soon as I dropped down from the panel, he DM'd me being like, oh, what happened? He's so sorry he missed it. Like, how did it go? And I just felt like he was full of shit. I had a feeling that he was just watching the entire thing from a burner and maybe didn't have enough money to actually support me. Like, I don't know what the reason was, but I just gave him the silent treatment. This is when things got really weird. He started like blowing up my inbox, and I'm talking like writing to me in all caps. Hold on. As you can see, he started like shouting at me basically through DMs, and he would follow me into the streams that I was in and would continue trying to interact with me there. And I continued ignoring him. But the last straw was when he started DMing my friends that like he didn't even know, to basically start complaining about me and saying, oh, why is she ignoring me? Da, da, da. So then I finally responded to him, sent him a voice note telling him to please kindly F off. And he told me that I was a very sad person, I did him dirty, and I said, you know what, if you continue this, I'm going to have to report you for harassment. And then he told me that he was going to get my BIGO account shut down and that he knew people. Then I get a text from my friend being like, hey girl, like, do you know this guy? Like, why do they have your photo as their picture? And this when I got scared. So at that time, I went ahead and blocked him. But then later I realized is that that's kind of like normal in the streaming culture. It's how gifters show loyalty to their favorite broadcaster. I guess the takeaway in this is not to rely on one supporter for support when you have like an important event coming up. There's a high likelihood that they will disappoint you. So you want to have a few supporters, okay? Also, just know as it pertains to supporters is that although we're dealing with adults, they're kind of like giant babies, and their egos can be extremely fragile and it can get messy really fast. So yeah, that's basically how I fumbled my first big gifter. The streaming culture can be extremely wild and toxic. So it's really important that you know your boundaries, but also understand the norm. So hopefully someone out there can learn from my experience, and let me know if you guys are interested in more story times from my era of being a BIGO live streamer, and see you next time.